Narendra Modi is in Italy. He's arrived in Rome on the final leg of his 5-nation diplomatic tour and received a warm welcome from members of the Indian diaspora, cultural performers and local supporters also gathered at his hotel in the Italian capital. Soon after landing, Prime Minister Modi met Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni over dinner and later visited the iconic Colosseum with the two leaders exchanging views on a wide range of subjects ahead of formal bilateral ties and talks. The atmosphere around Modi's arrival reflected both diplomatic significance and cultural warmth. The Prime Minister interacted with members of the Indian community, signed autographs for children and witnessed special cultural performances organized in his honor. Italian artists performed musical pieces inspired by Indian classical traditions, including a composition based on Raga Hum Sad Vani, while an Italian Kathak artist who had lived in India for 15 years expressed happiness at the welcoming of the Prime Minister through dance. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to conclude his 5-nation diplomatic tour with an official state visit to Italy that will conclude on the 20th of May at the invitation of Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. The visit comes after a series of high-level engagements across Europe focused on boosting India's global partnerships in trade, defense, energy security, innovation, mobility and strategic cooperation. There are in fact some breaking news updates that we have on Prime Minister's Italy visit. Modi also held a bilateral meeting with Italian President Sergio Mattarella. Today in Rome, the two leaders discussed strengthening the strategic partnership between India and Italy with focus on trade, defense, technology and people-to-people ties. Prime Minister Modi thanked President Mattarella for the warm welcome and hospitality extended to him and the Indian delegation. The meeting is part of Prime Minister Modi's ongoing engagements during his official visit to India. This high-level interaction is expected to further deepen bilateral cooperation between the two countries across multiple sectors. In fact, these are visuals coming in of that meeting between Prime Minister Modi and President Mattarella. This meeting was held just a short while ago. Prime Minister Modi is, of course, greeting the leaders of Italy there during his Rome visit. Let's in fact also go across to my colleague from the newsroom, Yash Ahuja. Yash, how important is this visit? Let's also talk about the chemistry that prime ministers of both countries are sharing with each other, videos of which are doing rounds on social media.
Yes, Kriti, a very, very successful, already successful meeting of the Prime Minister. His tour has happened. 4 nations he has completed. This is the 5th and last nation in his 5-nation visit. He held a bilateral meeting with Italian President Sergio Mattarella at the Quirinale Palace in Rome. During the cordial meeting, two leaders discussed ways to further strengthen the India-Italy strategic partnership. Both sides also reviewed progress on the joint strategic action plan 25 to 29 and cooperation under the ambitious India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor, also known as the IMEC. The high-level engagement is now expected to give fresh momentum to bilateral relations, which are already, really good. We have seen videos of the Prime Minister with Prime Minister of Italy, Giorgia Meloni. They visited the Colosseum late last night. They also engaged in a dinner, and PM Modi is also scheduled to hold talks with the Italian Prime Minister again today and visit the headquarters of the UN Food and Agriculture Organization. Back to you.
Right. All right, we'll keep tracking those developments for you viewers. Prime Minister is all set to conclude his 5-nation tour today with Italy, Rome being his final stop. Meeting between Meloni and Prime Minister is now next. And with that, let's shift to news from back home. The portfolio allocation for ministers in the new V.D. Satheesan-led Kerala government has been finalized after days of discussions with the ruling UDF alliance. The final list has now been officially submitted to the governor, marking the completion of a key step in government